Hey, it's Keisha. Welcome back. So we are on our next reading in the Aquarian. It'll be chapters 111, 112, and 113. So we start. And Jesus taught the multitudes. And while he spoke, a man stood forth and said, Rabboni, hear my plea. My father died and left a large estate. My brother seized it all and refuses me my share. I pray that you will bid him do the right and give me what is mine. And Jesus said, I am not come to be a judge in such affairs. I am no henchman of the court. God sent me not to force a man to do the right. In every man there is a sense of right, but many men regard it not. The fumes that rise from selfishness have formed a crust about their sense of right that it veils their inner light, so that they cannot comprehend nor recognize the rights of other men. This veil you cannot tear away by force of arms, and there is naught that can dissolve this crust but knowledge and the love of God. While men are in the mire, the skies seem far away. When men are on the mountaintop, the skies are near, and they can almost touch the stars. Then Jesus turned, and to the 12 he said, Behold, the many in the mire of carnal life. Behold, the many in the mire of carnal life. The leaven of truth will change the miry clay to solid rock, and men can walk and find the path that leads up to the mountaintop. You cannot hasten, but you can scatter forth this leaven with a generous hand. When men have learned the truth that bears upon its face the law of right, then they will haste to give to every man his dues. Then to the people Jesus said, Take heed and covet not. The wealth of men does not consist in what they seem to have, in lands and silver and in gold. These things are only borrowed wealth. No man can corner up the gifts of God. The things of nature are the things of God, and what is God's belongs to every man alike. The wealth of soul lies in the purity of life and in the wisdom that descends from heaven. Behold, a rich man's ground brought forth abundantly. His barns were far too small to hold his grain, and to himself he said, What shall I do? I must not give my grain away. I must not let it go to waste. And then he said, This will I do. I will tear down these little barns and build up larger ones. There I will store away my grain, and I will say, My soul, now take up your ease. You have enough for many years. Eat, drink, and fill yourself, and be content. But God looked down and saw the man and saw his selfish heart, and he said, You foolish man. This night your soul will quit its house of flesh. Then who will have your garnered wealth? You men of Galilee, lay not up your treasures in the vaults of earth. Accumulated wealth will blight your soul. God does not give men wealth to hoard away in secret vaults. Men are but stewards of God's wealth, and they must use it for the common good. To every steward who is true to self, to other men, to everything that is, the Lord will say, Well done. And Jesus left the multitudes and went with his disciples up to Mary's home. And as they sat about the board to dine, he said, My little flock, fear not. It is your Father's will that you should rule the kingdom of the soul. A ruler in the house of God is servant of the Lord of hosts, and man cannot serve God except by serving men. A servant in the house of God cannot be servant in the house of wealth, nor in the synagogue of sense. If you were tied to lands or bonds or wealth of earth, your hearts are also knit up in things of earth. For where your treasures are, there are your hearts. Dispose of all your wealth, distribute it among the poor, and put your trust in God. And you, not yours, and you nor yours will ever come to want. And you nor yours will ever come to want. This is the test of faith, and God will not accept the service of the faithless one. The time is ripe, your master comes upon the clouds. The eastern sky is glowing with his presence now. Put on the reception robes, gird up your loins, trim up your lamps, and fill them with oil. And be prepared to meet your Lord. When you are ready, he will come. Thrice blessed are the servants who are ready to receive their Lord. Behold, for he will gird himself, and he will prepare a sumptuous feast for every one, and he himself will serve. It matters not when he shall come. It may be at the second watch, it may be at the third. But blessed are the servants who are ready to receive. You cannot leave your door ajar and go to sleep and wait in blissful ignorance of the fleeting time. For thieves will surely come and take away your goods and bind and cast you away to robbers' dens. And if you are not carried forth, the master, when he comes, will not regard a sleeping guard as friend, but as a foe. Behold, these are times when every man must make and be awake and at his beloved. These are times when every man must be awake and at his post. For none can tell the hour nor the day when man shall be revealed. And Peter said, Lord, is this a parable for us or the multitudes? And Jesus said, why need you ask? God is not a man that he should show respect for one and cast another off. Whoever will may come and gird himself and trim his lamp, and find a turret in the tower of life where he may watch and be prepared to meet the Lord. But you, as children of light, have come, and you have learned the language of the court, and may stand forth and lead the way. You may wait and think that you are ready to receive the Lord, and still he does not come. And you may grow impatient and begin to long for carnal ways again, and may begin to exercise your rule, to beat and otherwise maltreat the servants of the house, and fill yourself with wine and meat. And what will say the Lord when he shall come? Behold, for he will cast the faithless servant from his house, and many years will come and go before he can be cleansed, and be thought worthy to receive his Lord. The servant who has come into light, who knows his master's will, and does it not, the trusted guard who goes to sleep within the turret of the tower of life, shall feel the lash of justice many times, while he who does not know his master's will and does it not, will not receive the graver punishment. The man who comes and stands before the open door of opportunity and does not enter in, but goes his way, will come again and find the door made fast, and when he calls, the door will open not. The guard will say, you had the password once, but you threw it away, and now the master knows you not. Depart. And verily I say to you, to whom much has been given, much is required. To whom a little has been given, a little only is required. Now, after they had dined, the guests and Jesus were all in the spacious hall in Mary's home. And when Lammas said, pray, tell us, Lord, is this the dawn of peace? Have we come forth to the time when men will war no more? Are you, indeed, the Prince of Peace that holy men have said would come? And Jesus said, peace reigns today. It is the peace of death. A stagnant pool abides in peace. When waters cease to move, they soon are laden with the seeds of death. Corruption dwells in every drop. The living waters always leap and skip about like lambs in spring. The nations are corrupt. They sleep within the arms of death, and they must be aroused before it is too late. In life we find antagonists at work. God sent me here to stir unto its depths the waters of the sea of life. Peace follows strife. I come to slay this piece of death. The Prince of Peace must first be Prince of strife. This leaven of truth which I have brought to men will stir the demons up, and the nations, cities, families will be at war with themselves. The 5 that have been dwelling in the home of peace shall be divided now, and 2 shall war with 3. The son will stand against his sire, the mother and the daughter will contend. Yea, strife will reign in every home. The self and greed and doubt will rage into a fever heat. And then, because of me, the earth will be baptized in human blood. But right is king, and when the smoke is cleared away, the nations will learn to war no more, and Prince of Peace will come to reign. Behold, the signs of what I say are already in the sky, but men see them not. When men behold a cloud rise in the west, they say, a shower of rain will come, and so it does. And when the wind blows from the south, they say, the weather will be hot, and it is so. Lo, men can read the signs of earth and sky, but they cannot discern the signs of holy breath. But you shall know. The storm of wrath comes on. The carnal man will seek a cause to hale you into the court and cast you into prison cells. And when these times shall come, let wisdom guide. Do not resent. Resentment makes more strong the wrath of evil men. There is a little sense of justice and of mercy in the vilest men of earth. By taking heed to what you do and say and trusting in the guidance of holy breath, you may inspire the sense to grow. You thus may make the wrath of men to praise your Lord. The Christines went their way and came again unto Bethsaida and taught. So we'll take up that lesson the next time round. I'll see you then. Bye now.